Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Why, hello there, everybody.
And Cindy doesn't even have a clue about what we're going to talk about.
I don't.
She doesn't, because we're in homeowner mode right now. So I'm working on screening in the porch, putting in a door, power washing, painting, all that type of stuff, and then we got to move on to doing a whole bunch of planting. And et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So, we've just been going nonstop all day. Besides one video we did do, and we put it up on Rumble because I just thought it would be doom if we put it up on YT.
Yes.
Because we're talking about people that, are in charge of YT. So, and how it's all tied together. So this one is only... And it's this one right here. It's only on Rumble. It's also on Brighteon, but honestly, I don't consider it anymore because, the censorship over there, which is really, really obvious. And, we still will post to Brighteon because you can post stuff. It's just a matter that they'll let you post it, but it doesn't mean anybody's going to see it,
right.
Or at least the numbers don't reflect that. So for now, we're, focusing a little bit more on Rumble. But we will keep posting to EEARTS. EEARTS is still monetized, sort of. They keep basically demonetizing videos and everything. So it's just about unmonetized. And Evolutionary has been unmonetized for going on 3 years now. So just want to thank everybody for your support on Patreon. We really couldn't do it without the support on Patreon. And also on Ko-Fi. And then do check out Medicinal Foods. Use coupon code EEA. And it gets you a discount. It does also support the channel. Good stuff. Everybody needs to be detoxing every day and also boosting your immune system. This is fascinating. So, of course, we have to avoid saying certain words. How should Canada respond to the whole situation over there in Ukraine? It's completely different depending on if you had something done or not. Is this just a coincidence? I don't think this is a coinky dink. It's amazing when you look at the numbers. They're inverse, pretty much. Respondents, who did 3 or more times, 86% are for imposing tougher economic sanctions, 85% seizing the assets of the Russian oligarchs associated with President Putin, 81% are in favor of cutting off oil shipments from Russia. 82% sending additional military equipment to Ukraine. 78% providing additional loans and non-military aid to Ukraine. 52% providing Ukraine with fighter jets. So that's about 50-50. 30% dispatching military forces to Ukraine, which means WW3. When you look to the ones that didn't, it seems like the ones that didn't just don't want to get involved. That's the way I would read it. Let me know what you guys get from this. And again, who should we trust? Do we even trust this? But, somehow, I think there's going to be a big difference between the doers and the don'ts.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, these differences are really huge. It's obviously something that cannot be ignored.
No, how could you ignore this? This is just kind of like, it's an eye-opener, but it's to be expected. As we've talked about, there is kind of, it's like the movies. The invasion of the body snatchers, so to speak. You can't make these things up. We do know there's all sorts of top secret programs out there about MK. Remember MK Ultra? And the horses just came in from the barn.
Winnie, Winnie, Winnie.
Now, the other thing, Cindy and I were just talking about it because we haven't gotten clear answers from the guides. It's interesting because seems like some things they don't want to impinge on our free will. They don't want to give us so much that we don't get anything out of the experience, even if it is kind of what we might perceive as a negative experience. Again, there's learning to happen, lessons to learn, and since we are eternal souls, which won't be destroyed, and are just basically going through a learning experience. They don't want to take away from that experience. And so we can't seem to get a straight answer on certain subjects. And we saw that the members of Congress were briefed and told that the situation over there in Ukraine could last 10 to 20 years, which sounds like an impossibility, especially if it can lead to, which it definitely can lead to, a bigger conflict. And we know that there's been 3 WWs planned. When we look at what's coming out, is Ukraine the bedrock of the WEF's Great Reset? Is that what this is about? Now, we talked about how the president of Ukraine is a poster child for the WEF, one of the young political leaders. So is Macron. So is Trudeau. So is Newsom. So is apparent opposition in some ways, Tulsi Gabbard, who herself is getting censored on YT. The list goes on and on. It's a political and, also just famous who's who. Zuckerberg, Facebook. These are all the young leaders. It's a huge, huge group. But, the superstar that's developed here, the president of Ukraine, Nobel Prize, up for the Nobel Prize, we should say. He hasn't gotten it yet. Obama got that too. Then that happened to be the same year I think we set a record for bombs that were dropped. Again, this just shows the upside down world. So is this what this is all really about? We were just saying, how much of it do you think is just plain old loosh and just profitability? Because, of course, now all the weapons that are used, they're going to have to be replaced, right? And they're also going to have reason now to stock even more of them. And if they draw more countries in, which, it seems like it's part of the plan, then that equals even more profits for the MIC, But this, now, just to show you guys, this is not one source. We see Mr. Freedom. Zelensky signs into law social credit application, universal basic income, digital ID, and the passport. You're a new hero, but we're watching you. Yeah, heroes. Are they born or are they actually made? Manufactured in China. Uh-oh.
Oops. I think it's the latter.
Yeah, as we see Klaus Schwab himself. Boom! Ukraine, first country to implement the Great Reset. Ukraine is implementing the Great Reset. There you go again. Ukraine just silently announced its first country to implement the WF's Great Reset. And I'm just doing this because there's always somebody out there that says, I don't trust whatever. Well, we should never trust anything, but at the same time, there's source after source after source after source that's all talking about the same thing. So, yeah, perfect timing. It's, you can't make this stuff up because we know what's coming. It's been telegraphed.
I just keep seeing all these sources and, the oxymoron of it all silently did this, it's so silently, but, everybody's reporting on it, but it's a secret, so I don't know. I don't trust any of these guys, but I do believe that they are going to put a lot of people in a certain mode of control, so they can continue to feed off them in some way, shape, or form.
You guys maybe can answer this. It just crossed my mind. I wonder if the fine dining ware country actually has government phones that they just give people. Because, again, it's like some of the apps you have to have always open. And you have to be, able to be tracked. You have to, check in for various things. Everything's on one app, right? This is on an app. It's on something called the DIA app. Now here, Cindy's phone's 4G. And, I was looking into getting a landline. and seeing if we could do it that way. And, would definitely ditch 5G. Absolutely. Why amp the signal in the house? It's bad enough already. If you were able to build an earth bag house, you could secure yourself a little freedom of the airwaves, because that would definitely dampen all that, 5G signal that's out there. We do every single night unplug all the electronics, unplug them, and then we put them in their Faraday cages, because the guides have come through and said they're damaging your energy body. You might only notice damage to the physical body, but when there's damage to the energy body, damage to the physical body comes right after that.
Right, and our energy body is so extremely important, and that's probably going to be my next drawing, as I'm trying to help people understand their energy bodies, its job, and what that looks like when there's blocks involved, and how that can prevent you from healing. And I wanted to talk about that. But with that understanding, our energy bodies, we need to really unplug as much as possible every night and ground for our bodies to be able to implement and heal and gain all the information that it needs from everything that's around them that is organic anyway. That's for our organic healing. And they've done a really good job. And I mean these nameless, faceless beings that collect our energy. They've done a really good job at making that nearly impossible now, including setting out these really nice smart beds for us too.
Yeah, it's just so, here it is. It's so, is this the big point? That big reset. And we were also talking about, they warned us about 6 months without the grid down. Maybe it'll come to that some point in time, but I think it would hurt the powers that be more than the rest of us if the grid was down. And ultimately, when the big solar flash comes, that's when we're finally free. Yeah. That's sayonara, baby. You guys' time is over. Hasta luego. Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Right. And, until between now and then, I don't see any danger in, any kind of electricity going out, because they need that to control us with.
Yeah. And so as more and more people wake up to, hey, you know what? Yeah, those crazy loons that kept talking about this, kept talking about that. Holy crap, look what's happening. Look what's happening here. Boom! Yeah, they're doing it. How could the 1/10,000th of 1% control 7.8 billion people? Well, this is how. Again, keep us fighting each other. Implement new legislation and changes. Again, there is only a semblance of serving the people. And at some point, that semblance is going to be gone. And then it'll be basically out and out slavery. And people will recognize, you know what? Slaves all along, just like those Sumerian tales. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. So just wanted to share that with you guys. As always, try to get out of the system, because we will get out of the system, and people will get out of the system, and that's how it's going to start to crumble. We'll stop going along with it. Let them police themselves and get outside of the system. That is the key. Of course, when people are waking up, what's a better way to get them thinking about, not what we want them thinking about, like, the convoy that was going on, all the people growing in the PRO tests. And then all of a sudden war breaks out, and everybody, is just focused on this one spot thinking, is this it? Is this it? Is this Armageddon? Is this, the Battle of Ezekiel, Gog and Magog? Is this the end days are finally here? Because we have wars and rumors of wars. The wars have never stopped. Well, they're just taking advantage of certain timing. And again, get you to look over here while they're doing something else over there.
Yes, they're very good at it. They're master planners about that.
Absolutely. But we see you.
Yes, we do.
Naughty, naughty, Klaus. Naughty, naughty.
Stop that.
No cookies for you.
Just reminds me of the potty training. Naughty.
Well, maybe. I mean, that That's definitely the case with number 46, Mr. Depends himself.
Yeah, it sure is. He doesn't have a very good potty trainer, does he?
No, well, he gets lost for so long that he's got to go. He doesn't know where to go.
That's true.
He's trying to find a good bush somewhere, and then, oops, oh well.
Well, we should have a softer heart for that, I guess.
Okay. As always, guys, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.